How did Manoah's wife know that God's desire wasn't to kill them? This is the question we seek to answer today as we continue our verse-by-verse study of the book of Judges on Walking Through the Bible. Today we're going to be discussing Judges 13, verses 11 to 25. But before we do that, let's read the passage. If you have a Bible with you, turn to Judges 13, verse 11. But if you don't have a Bible, don't worry. Just follow along with us on the screen. The version that we'll be reading from is the New King James Version. So Judges 13, beginning at verse 11. So Manoah arose and followed his wife. When he came to the man and said to him, "Are you the man who spoke to this woman?" And he said, "I am." Manoah said, "Now let your words come to pass. What will be the boy's rule of life and his work?" So the angel of the Lord said to Manoah, "Of all that I said to the woman, let her be careful. She may not eat anything that comes from the vine, nor may she drink wine or similar drink, nor eat anything unclean. All that I have commanded her, let her observe." Then Manoah said to the angel of the Lord, "Please let us detain you, and we will prepare a young goat for you." And the angel of the Lord said to Manoah, Though you detain me, I will not eat your food. But if you offer a burnt offering, you must offer it to the Lord." For Manoah did not know he was the angel of the Lord. Then Manoah said to the angel of the Lord, "What is your name, that when your words come to pass, we may honor you?" And the angel of the Lord said to him, "Why do you ask my name, seeing it is wonderful?" So Manoah took the young goat with the grain offering and offered it upon the rock to the Lord. And he did a wondrous thing while Manoah and his wife looked on. It happened as the flame went up toward heaven from the altar. The angel of the Lord ascended in the flame of the altar. When Manoah and his wife saw this, they fell on their faces to the ground. When the angel of the Lord appeared no more to Manoah and his wife, then Manoah knew that he was the angel of the Lord. And Manoah said to his wife, "We shall surely die because we have seen God." But his wife said to him, "If the Lord had desired to kill us, he would not have accepted a burnt offering and a grain offering from our hands, nor would he have shown us all these things, nor would he have told us such things as these at this time." So the woman bore a son and called his name Samson. And the child grew, and the Lord blessed him. And the Spirit of the Lord began to move upon him at Mahaneh-dan, between Zorah and Eshtaol. In our last lesson, we're introduced to the parents of Samson, the last judge we'll look at in this book. Samson's father is named Manoah, while his mother is unnamed. The time period is the affliction of the Philistines, which we determined began around 1118 BC, according to our running chronology of this book. We learned that Samson was going to begin delivering Israel from the Philistines, and that from birth he was to be a Nazirite all the days of his life. Even his mother was to follow the Nazirite restrictions during pregnancy. Now these details were expressed to Manoah's wife in the absence of Manoah by the angel of the Lord. We said that as of yet we do not know whether this is an angel sent by God or whether this is God himself, as the angel of the Lord in the Old Testament can be used either way. When Manoah heard these words, he prayed to God that the man that was sent would be sent again, so that they could learn further. This shows us that Manoah had some faith, and didn't dismiss his wife's words out of hand as words coming from a barren woman who wanted children. The Lord heard Manoah's prayer, and so the angel of the Lord once again appeared, first to Manoah's wife, but then to Manoah as well as she came to fetch him. Which brings us to verse 11. When Manoah asked if the angel of the Lord, whom he did not know was the angel of the Lord, was the one who had appeared to his wife earlier, he got an affirmative response. Manoah then asked to know what the boy's rule of life was to be, as well as his work, to which the angel of the Lord repeated what he told Manoah's wife about the Nazirite vow and how his wife was to behave during pregnancy. It is here that Manoah probably began to suspect that the one before him was more than simply a man. For how could he know such things if this was just a man? And how could he even proclaim that his wife would bear a child, seeing as how she was barren? Showing his hospitality, Manoah wants the man to stay until a young goat is prepared for him. The angel of the Lord refuses to eat of the food, but he will stay, and says that if a burnt offering is desired to be offered, it must be offered to the Lord, Jehovah. Now, does this phrase mean that we can conclude that the angel of the Lord is simply an angel and not God, since the angel's directions tell Manoah to offer the sacrifice to God? No, for notice that right after that phrase it is said, "For Manoah did not know he was the angel of the Lord." Manoah didn't know who this man was entirely, and so, given the state of Israel at that time, might have been tempted to offer a sacrifice to someone he viewed as a mere man. The angel of the Lord said that all sacrifices needed to be offered to God, not men. So this phrase alone doesn't allow us to conclude anything yet. Manoah asked the name of the angel of the Lord, that he may be honored if his words would come to pass, but got a reply of why was he asking, seeing that his name was Wonderful. Now this does not mean that the angel's name is actually wonderful, but describes the nature of the angel, a nature that is ascribed to God in places like Isaiah 9, verse 6. Manoah could have become frustrated, but he didn't. He offered the sacrifice. Now, similar to the story of Gideon, found in chapter 6, the angel of the Lord did something wondrous here. The flame of fire came out of the altar towards heaven, and the angel of the Lord ascended up into heaven in the flame. This astounded both Manoah and his wife, so much so that they fell on their faces to the ground in awe. But then fear fell over Manoah, for he knew at that time that he had seen God, and so, in accordance with the Hebrew belief, would now be subject to death. This confirms to us that the angel of the Lord was a manifestation of God himself, and not simply an angelic being. Manoah's wife, though, showed her face in face of her husband's fear by proclaiming that God must not want to kill them, for otherwise he wouldn't have accepted their sacrifice, and he wouldn't have told them about the things which must come to pass. And not only does that show her faith, but it shows her sound reasoning and judgment too. Why would God appear to them in a form that they could see, tell them the things that he told them, only to punish them for looking on the form he took to tell them those things? And the answer is that he wouldn't. God is not that type of God. He doesn't punish people for something that was not sinful. God took this form, allowing Manoah and his wife to see him. Therefore, he must have wanted them to see him. Manoah's wife's words are borne out in that she does have a son and names him Samson. His name is often interpreted as strong or daring one, which, if true, would be a fitting description for the character of Samson. The chapter closes by telling us that the child grew up under the blessing of the Lord, and that the Spirit of the Lord began to move upon him when he grew to the age that he could judge Israel. The place that this occurred was near Samson's home in the tribe of Dan, or Mahanadan, between Zorah and Eshtaol. We'll begin looking at the judgeship of Samson, the Lord willing, in the next lesson. With that, our time is up for today. The Lord willing, we hope you'll join us for tomorrow's discussion of Judges chapter 14, verses 1 to 6, as we continue our walk through the Bible, one verse at a time. Thank you for watching today's episode. We hope that you found it edifying and ask that you not only subscribe to our channel and podcast, but that you like and share this episode among your friends, so that the saving gospel of Jesus Christ can go out to the whole world.